Blink, it's your Blink. Welcome to our show. Visiting Website, having a wonderful day on this 13th April 2025. I got a couple of videos to make, so without further ado, let's get to it. I'm gonna be filming some outside, that way you guys can get a beautiful view. You're gonna hear me talk. You know how it is. I don't have to tell you. Enjoy. There you go. Isn't it nice? There you go. Okay. Heck yeah. Don't blink, it's your Blink. Welcome to our show. Something Website having a wonderful day on this 13th April 2025. Today we are doing a very special thing. What is that very special thing? Well, as you can see, we are filming outside. Also filming the tower. It's a beautiful moon. Let me show you. We're filming in the night, so you guys already see this. This is a more so a behind the scene. Anything else? As you guys know, we have to upload a couple of clips, right? A couple of clips. We have the tower here. The moon is beautiful. So the plan was we are allowed to upload clips at 11. 11 marks 24 hours. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be filming a couple of videos. We got a tower here. We got a tower here. We got a tower here. You got the phone, the computer here actually, because we need to upload, right? So that is pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it. And on that note, let's get into the business. Let's get into action. I did miss making a video like that. However, there's gonna be a beautiful sunrise tomorrow, so we'll probably catch that also. Okay. Don't blink, it's your Blink. Welcome to our show. If you want to having a wonderful day on this 13th April 2025. Today we're doing a very cool video. I don't know if you can see, it's very small. Here is my first phone filming the moon, the night. Here is the this is the second tower, this is the third tower. Why are we doing videos that late? Well, funny you should ask. We have we're uploading clips on Twitch every single day, or from Twitch every single day, and we are allowed 100. I was able to redo them at around 11 p.m. It is 11:23. I could go to sleep, but sadly, there ain't no rest for the wicked, as they say. And trust me, people do say that. Can somebody please confirm in the comments? No? Okay, cool. I'm super happy because you guys do what I love. This is truly my element. This is truly what I like doing. We got, dude, we're living the life right now. We're filming street videos. We're filming a nature porn. We're filming this video, and we're doing this. So, the first video, which is something that I've done quite often, is multitasking, right? But in a more mature way, right? The sort of multitasking that I was talking about is completely different. See, multitasking. I think I personally did. I want to say close to 7 videos already on it, right? So why am I doing another one? Well, my perception change of it. And that's a cool thing with doing content and evolving as a person, right? So the evolution as a person, you understand things differently. Multitasking was a way of controlling the ADHD, right? The ADHD which needed to be controlled, whether I had too much energy. So like I'm not able to focus on one thing, let's focus on 2 things, and then the 2 things weren't enough anymore. And like an addict, this overwork became more and more and more. At first it was 1 thing, at second it was 2 things, then it became 3 things. And now we're juggling with 2, 1, 3, 4, 5 things, right? 5 things which are idle, but still. So in most cases, and even then when we started to work out, right? The plan was to work out here. The plan was to work out with you guys. The plan was 100% to work out with you guys, and make videos and just work out, right? But then the plan changed because well, the workouts went really well, right? The workouts ran really well. So because the workout goes so well, we don't have to have like a multitasking, physical multitasking, and that's the whole point of this last video that we did on multitasking. The last video that we made on multitasking was okay. Well, since I'm never finding a limit to how much I can do, maybe we have to do different stuff. So maybe the mind, maybe the physical, right? So I don't know. It was a point of that. But then because we're working out a lot and it's effective, plus our body gets tired and we're sore, blah 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 blah. You know the deal. But at the same time, I don't need to do the workout. Not because I think there's always way to improve, right? I think hard work and dedication leads to greatness, right? You're either born with it or you work for it, right? But at the same time, I had this, because we're sore, and the workout today was a really good workout because there's just this almost insane feeling of orgasm. And when I talk about orgasm, people are gonna be thinking sexual, right? But orgasm, no. Orgasm is what? Orgasm is, yes, it's sexual, it's a release, but it's also a large amount of dopamine, right? So think about it. So, for example, you're having, this is gonna be very image. So I'm sorry if I'm being too graphics. A lot of you guys are minor. I'm trying to be respectful. When you're gonna have sex, yes, having sex is very nice, and if you're lucky, it feels good. You're with the right person. You're having fun. But even the action of having sex, it's crazy because you're gonna have sex for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, right? You can tell I'm missing it, and you can tell I'm horny, but that's not part of the equation. But at the very end, even though it lasted for 40 minutes, you got a couple minutes of orgasm and this pulse and how good it feels, right? And then when you have the workout, it's the exact same thing. And I think with the workouts, yes, like for example, right now, am I able to move? Yes. Am I sore? I feel sore. Is my body tired? Yes. As you can tell, my mind isn't tired, which is good. But yeah, we do feel a little bit tired, right? So then what ends up happening is because I reach this climax, we are able to enjoy the rest of the day. So this is not a feeling that I'm looking for every single, well, I am looking for it every single day, but multiple times a day. I guess I'm getting old. Call me a boomer, call me a dad. But don't be like Carly Rae Jepsen. Hey, I just met you and here's my number. Call me maybe. So because we're reaching that orgasm feeling, I don't really need to go back and say, you know what? Oh, I don't have enough. Like, if once a day I have enough, plus I can want to distance them because I want it to feel special. Like, for example, today, to be honest, today we had this problem where I was gonna do an exercise, and I was too tired to do it, right? And I was I was annoyed. But my first thought was like, you know what? This is the first time since you started, 3 weeks ago, by the way. It is what time right now? It is 11:28. In about 32 minutes, we're gonna have 3 weeks completed. Of no, that's not true. We're gonna be starting our third week. So we start on a Monday. Today is Sunday. So that's pretty much it, right? So all of that to say, with the multitasking, I've had this physical extract or physical um, fulfillment, I guess. I guess fulfillment is actually a good word. See, you're feeling fulfilled. You're feeling like you did your part, and you're feeling like no matter what you did, right? So then I'm realizing that if I was to, and I think it's a fear also, right? I think that's a fear. I think the mistake that I made with multitasking, and again with more maturity, with hindsight, taking a step back, I'm able to say, okay, well, we did this mistake, we did this mistake. Here's why. So with the multitasking, I really feel like I was doing a lot of things just to do them. I didn't care what I was doing. I didn't care. Okay, so we need to do this. We need to do this. We need to do this. Okay, well, we do need to do this, right? I didn't care about what I was doing. I was only caring about how much I was doing. Like today, we read about how we read about 3 things, but technically speaking, we're doing 3 things. The tower, we're doing it 3 times. We're filming 2 times. This video, the station point, I don't have to take care of it, right? And we're doing this, which is basically, it's basically taking clips, right, and downloading them and then re-uploading them. And yeah, that's the only thing I did. So click, download, wait, upload, wait. That's pretty much it. So again, super, super, super simple. And yes, we're multitasking, but I'm doing more. And I feel like, and you guys know how I feel about that. I feel like it's the classic work smart, not hard. And I fucking hate this. There's a lot of, I'm a very patient guy. I'm a very calm, collected guy. But this pisses me off. The fucking fact, and I think it's coming from a place from people telling me, oh, you work hard, why don't you work smart? Dude, you're fucking lazy. You're fucking lazy. I'm picking up your slack. You're fucking lazy. You're working smart, like you say, and just waiting for other people to do the job. You're not working smart, you're being lazy, you know? So in my mind, a lot of people, and again, I'm not passing judgment, I'm just speaking about my truth, my perception, how I see things. In my mind, there's a lot of people who will use the work smart, not hard, as a way to slack off. And I feel like this is like sacrifice. It's sacrifice. Like, for example, if you work hard, yeah, you'll pick up some tricks, right? But you're always gonna have this mentality, this value of hard work. Right? Versus like, oh well, you know what? At my last job, it was easier. So we were working smarter. Right? And I don't like it. I don't like it. And what I actually feel also is this right now, I feel like we're working smarter than harder, right? For example, yes, we're doing a lot of things, and yes, we're taking care of a lot of things, but at the same time, those are all things that are passive, right? They're passive. It's not like I have to work out. But working out, it would be constant force. It would be constant effort, right? And in this case, all of these are very, very minimal mental factor. Very minimal, right? But there's still mental factor. All of them are. And then it doesn't it stops being working hard, but it's doing the same thing. Like for example, right? My parents, when I was doing my homework, we were going way back, right? They were saying, hey, you cannot do your homework and listen to music. You're not focused, right? But then they would talk. I was using the kitchen to make my homework. It was the biggest table, right? Well, technically speaking, it was kind of the only table we had at home. Don't ask me why. That's the way it was. And I used to use the table in the kitchen, and my father and his girlfriend would talk there. And I was like, how are you don't want me to listen to music, but you're gonna have conversation. Chances are, chances are, and again, call me crazy, right? Call me crazy. I'm a bit weird. I'm a bit weird. I understand. Okay, a lot of people are gonna call me crazy. No problem with that. But there's a lot of chances. There's a high chance that the song that I'm listening to is something that I already listened to, right? It's a song that I'm not learning. I already know. Chances are. I saw a girl today, a girl that I follow. She posted a picture or a video of um of a band called Hollywood Undead, and I remember how much we loved them. So it's kind of nostalgic, you know. But then with the parents, I would get not necessarily mad at them. I was like, dude, you're giving me shit because you stop listening to music. What you're talking. But at the same time, those two were minimal, right? So then, what I'm trying to say, which is not that hard to understand, is with multitasking, my perception right now. Again, I think for a long time, the multitasking was. See, it's. How can I say that? It's actually kind of complex. I feel like for a while, a little while, little to medium while, I feel like the multitasking was because I was behind schedule. I had too much on my plate, right? And because I had too much on my plate, I was like, okay, well, let's do this and this and this at the same time, right? And then I was behind schedule, and I was on schedule, and then I was in front of the schedule. I had in your to-do list, most of it was crossed out, right? And then I'm a hard worker. I like to think I'm a hard worker. Maybe I'm not. Maybe somebody's gonna be watching this and gonna say, dude, I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing more than that, and I'm not complaining, right? So you never know. At the same time, like we're doing all this right now, right? And I feel like a lot of time, like for example, when you're working hard, you gotta go after and say, oh well, you know what's chill, relax. And a lot of people tell me, hey, relax, you're doing too much. And although I'm grateful for it, and I do like realize that maybe sometimes we're going overboard, but at the same time, you can't really, or maybe you can't. I don't fucking know. But you can't really go in and be like, well, you should be doing so much, right? Because you get used to it, right? It's like, well, I know you worked 9 hours yesterday, so today you should be working 7 hours. No, you're working every day 8 hours, right? And that's actually a perfect example. You're working 8 hours, right? But you're just as busy than others. So when you're just as busy than others, how do you deal with that, right? You have a busy schedule, right? Are you more stressed? Are you able to handle it? Are you multitasking, right? If I don't have a lot of jobs that day, I don't have a big quota for that day, chances are I'm not going to be multitasking. If I have a bigger quota, well, I'm going to find some ways to, okay, well, we have to do it, right? And that was the first step. The second step, I pretty much think that it was stuff. And also there's this almost narcissistic pleasure to it. And yes, I'm becoming narcissistic, and I don't know how to deal with that, but I'm becoming more narcissistic in a way of, okay, well, you know what? I know I could have done this. I could have done this on my own. Today I didn't miss time, right? We actually fucking chilled today. We watched hours and hours of content from our people, which was really nice. At the same time, it's more so a case of, you know what? I've done more, right? But now we're doing this in front of you guys because I need to do it. So I was like, okay, well, the tower, you're playing too much, so do it when you do it with your videos, right? And then I was like, you know, you can do this when you do the video too. So it started from making a video, then we added something, and when we added something, maybe down the line I'm gonna be adding a third thing. I don't know. But it's just this need, right? And then there's narcissistic where people are gonna be sick. In a really weird way. Right now we're doing a weight loss journey, right? And this weight loss journey is being very beneficial because again, people are fucking with it. People are really down with the content, getting a lot of compliments, a lot of praises, which is super nice. I'm getting a sense of community, but I'm also getting a sense of community because I'm getting some regulars. But the reality with the regulars is, how can I have regulars when I myself am not regular? How can I have regulars when I stream once a week? You know. So the fact that we're doing it every day, it's a bit different, right? Or possibly different mentality. I don't know. But yeah, so it's a bit different. So in this case, what happened is, like, okay, well, I love the workouts, but the workouts it's, how can I say that? It's very valorizing, right, to do this. But then you're getting valued, and you're getting valued, and you're being told you're doing a good job, and then you lose the weight, and then nobody tells you that you're doing a good job anymore. It's a bit weird, isn't it? It's a bit weird, right? And I think the first week, that's what we did with the weight loss. Sabotage yourself. Sabotage yourself. We got the result from the first weigh in, and in 1 week I lost 15 pounds. And I was like, I don't have that much weight to lose. I was at 271. The goal is 171. Well, 170. That's 100 pounds, right? I don't know if you're good at math. That's 50%. It is a lot. It's like, okay, well, this thing will not be long. How's that possible? How am I gonna keep it going on and on and on and on and on? Like, I need to keep it going on and on because it's so valorizing, right? Then you just turn the page. And I think that's the problem with that is part of the issue of multitasking, right? For example, which is crazy, we were dealing with a lot of problems because I was constantly having to upload and upload and upload and upload and upload, right? But now what we're doing, and the problem also is on YouTube I can only upload 100 videos. So we were playing the tower for 6 hours every single day. And then I was like, well, you know what? I can possibly edit them, right? And now we found a way to edit them to not lose quality, right? And they taking half the space. Because they take that half the space, they're able to upload a lot faster, right? Because they're able to upload a lot faster, then we have time to upload more stuff. So I came from, I'm gonna say last Tuesday, of having my 2 phones completely full entirely. Now, funny thing is, if you're watching the content, if you're regular, right, you know that I've been going to my father's. I went to my father's 3 times last week. Why? Because I love my father, of course. If you're watching that, I love you. But if you're not watching, it's just because he has Wi-Fi. So I get to upload 2 videos at once. Again, multitasking. Not because I need to, not because I want to, but because I need to. Right? My phones are full. I need to upload quickly. Let's upload at my father's house. And then with the tower, the way we're doing it right now, it's much better. It's much better. That takes way less time. And then I'm realizing that I don't need an entire day. I don't need entire days. Dude, I can do it in a couple minutes. That's beautiful. But then there's a huge problem. There's a huge problem. And that huge problem is very simple. We're slowly getting back in order. The being late that we had, the delayed schedule, we're catching up. And what time we're gonna catch it, right? Then we're gonna cook it on the stew. It'll be delicious. But yes, that's one that I have. So multitasking, and again, I want to go back on multitasking because so if you recap this, what I'm saying, because that's really quite complicated to follow, right? It's more so about me being in a position where, you know, I'm enjoying and I'm finding a way to do stuff better. And I get the feeling that we're still working as hard, right? It might not look like it, but we're working as hard, right? But then there's also the feeling that this is not eternal. And this is also my problem. This is gonna be very in-depth, right? And we're gonna do another video about that. We're gonna do another video about that. This one is long enough. Anyway, love you guys, take it easy. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the Commentary Show. Visiting you all having a wonderful day. As you can see here, we're filming nature corn, the moon. We're also filming the tower, and we are uploading clips. I'm supposed to be sleeping right now, right? But we have to work. So while we're working, let's do the most possible, right? Today's video, drumroll please, on this 13th April 25, is commitment. So, if you guys saw a couple of my videos, we having this fear of commitment, right? And I made a video not too long ago, I think it was last week, about the fact that I kind of want to have a relationship. I don't know why I'm craving a relationship. I don't know why, right? Possibly A, B, C, D, I don't know what you want to fucking call it. But I'm craving a relationship, right? And then you're asking yourself, why are you craving this relationship? And then you realize that, well, we're craving this social aspect of a relationship, right? but then you realize that you have this, it's almost this issue with commitment, right? Why am I saying this almost this issue with commitment? Because you don't know that you have this problem, right? Because you're not faced with this situation all the time. You're faced with this problem a couple of times, but not all the time. For example, right? For example, we're gonna go in with a very, very, very easy example. But now what we're doing is downloading clips and we're uploading on both YouTube and on TikTok. Sorry, a bit tired. We never were faced with the situation of commitments, right? I often talk about how I never talk about my relationship because I didn't have that many, right? I don't have that many experience with it. The reality is it's them from us not being very confident, right? Which is sad, but the truth that we're not very confident when it came to the way I look. When you're never given compliments on how you look, or you never given compliments on yourself, actually, right? It's you start to have this very negative opinion about yourself, right? And then, right, you get desperate, and this is all the story. It's still commitment. We're going to the roots, right? To the roots. The roots is basically become desperate, right? So you start having girlfriend that you're not really interested in, but it means being single, right? Which is not true. By the way, if you're in a relationship right now, just because you want to be in a relationship, don't do it. Okay? Just because you're lonely, do not do it. You're fucked. So we were doing that. And it was quite destructive, right? And then I got a bit of confidence, right? And then we started going for girls that are more my type. The girls that are more my type weren't interested. Like, no way. So we went for toxic girl, right? You know this expression of I love broken girl? Bullshit. You love toxic girl because they treat you like shit. Because they treat you like shit, because you go with broken girls because they make you feel like shit, because they treat you like shit. So now you have an excuse as to why you really feel like shit. So you feel like shit to begin with. You go with this girl that will make you feel like shit. And then people will say, holy shit, she's treating you really bad. That's why he's always sad. No, you're sad shit to begin with. You're a sad person to begin with. You're just using this as an amplifier to stay in this position because change is scary. And change is scary, right? It doesn't matter if you're happy or sad, you'll stay in that position. Because change is scary. That's crazy to think. You're self-sabotage. So you can stay in that position, right? So, those toxic relationships, I'm a patient guy. I'm nice, I'm generous. I try to be there for my friends, I try to be there for people, right? Stranger like friends. But I have my limits. And my limits are not that high, right? I'm 5'4", about a meter 50. My limits are possibly I would go about here, yeah. A bit above the shoulder, right? So you have this toxic relationship and just like fuck you, I don't like you. I never did, right? I'm just desperate. And then you kind of give up on it, right? And then I always tell you this, one of my biggest quality, of one of my biggest flex, is the fact that we're able to stay alone, right? We're very self-sufficient. So we're very much able to be alone and be happy, right? The problem when you're being alone and happy is things like commitment, things like real life hits you like a brick. So what is one thing that hit me like a brick? Well, actually quite simple. When I think about things that hit me like a brick, is you're not perfect, right? But you spend so many years in your own apartment talking to yourself that you feel that you're perfect because you agree with everything that you say, right? And if you don't agree with everything that you say, then you're evidently wrong, you're fucked in the head, or you don't have a different opinion. In my case, it was all three of them, right? But in the same time, like because you're not confronted with other opinion, then you are alone, and then you realize that other people have an opinion, and those opinion goes after yours directly. So instead of fighting them or instead of confronting them, right, you go in a position of this is my opinion. I want it to be my opinion. I think I'm right, so I'll stay alone, right? Even for work, even as a child, right? As a child, I saw Jackie Chan fighting. I saw I went to a tournament. It was like this kid, and I always remember it. This kid was hitting me, and I don't remember why. he had this helmet, he had this glove, and he came to me. And he really wanted to fuck me up. And he was punching me. And in my mind, I was laughing. Because like, this guy is so angry. Why is he so angry? And to me, it was funny. It was funny. So then the teacher was like, your son is not aggressive enough to my father, right? And then I realized that the only reason why we pick up karate, right, was because we're actually going to go really deep today. I don't know why I'm motivated to make videos, so let's be motivated and make videos. You're down? Cool, I'm down too. What are the odds? So you realize that karate, I didn't do it to defend myself. I didn't do it to fight. I did it because I thought it was cool, right? Just like I did not swimming. Swimming, I didn't have a choice. My father doesn't know how to swim, so my father signed me up for swimming hard because he wanted to do something. He wanted me to know something he couldn't know, or he possibly wanted me to save him. But my father doesn't know how to swim, so chances are he's not gonna go in the water. I hope so. Although other than if he's suicide, if he's chop sweet. So yeah, so the checkers. I joined the checkers because I was bored, right? I wasn't motivated, I was bored. Years later, I joined the MLM, you guys know about this, ACN. And I don't know if I did a video about ACN, I will have to check. If I didn't do, there's gonna be another video for tomorrow, it's gonna be nice. I don't know if I did. I don't know if I did. But then my motivation was money. We did it a year and there was not a penny, right? There was not a penny. Then, the job that I had was I was either fired or they were pushing me to quit by giving me not enough hours, right? So everything in my life to this point was temporary, either by decision or by being forced to. So you're not really aware of the feeling of commitment if you never had the chance of commitment, right? Also, like I told you with the girls, and again, I'm gonna sound like an asshole. That's not what I'm trying to do. But those girls most of the girls that I loved or I was in a relationship with, it was just, I fell in love right away because I fell in love quickly. There was only this one person, Leia, where we actually had a relationship. The other were just flings, or it works for 3 months or for 2 months, right? And I get disinterest, right? Because I'll be completely honest with you guys, all the time, because I'm so self-sufficient, I don't really care, right? I don't really care. So the other person, because they're looking for a relationship, right? I don't think I've ever looked for a relationship, to be honest. Right now we're looking. And apart from that, I don't think I've ever looked for a relationship. Don't ask me why, I just never did. And yeah, that's a bit weird, isn't it? But long story short, so we go in, right? And we have this micro relationship, and commitment is never an issue because we're breaking up before we even have the talk of where is this going, right? We break up before that, and it sucks, but that's the way it is. And then we have the content, right? And this is the commitment. This is the weight loss. This is a commitment, and we're being put in a position where we're constantly seeing the commitment. Like for example, the weight loss. We're going better than I thought. 2 weeks, 30 pounds. That's amazing. But the goal is to lose 100 pounds. So we have 70 pounds less to lose, and that is it. That is it. I thought I was gonna have it for a year. It's gonna take us 7 months, 8 months, right? That's scary because this is something that was long term and it's finished. The content, I see myself doing this for years and years and years and years, right? Is there a point where I'm gonna fall out of love with that? Not being put in front of commitment makes me not know how important it is, how serious it is, right? Again, the content, making content, kind of bullshit because making content is individuality, right? So it's not you that is pushing me, I'm pushing myself, right? And the beautiful thing about my community is I cannot, even if I spend 2 weeks not making a video, nobody cares. People are like, hey, take your time, and they're being comprehensive. But it's not a case yet of, hey, if you didn't do a video that day, they get mad at you. Now, if it was a case, would I get mad at it? what I feel uncomfortable with. I'm like, fuck, it's a lot of pressure, right? But right now, it is what it is. Today, I decided to upload this, and I was happy to upload this, and then I was like, you know what, I'm down to make more videos, right? And because I'm down to make more videos, we just continue and continue and continue. But at the very forefront, it was just to upload that, right? So then we got to multitasking, and then it got me to commitment, right? This is how much effort I'm putting in. Today the workout, right? Today the workout was amazing because we were committed. We were committed to succeed. Today, for the first time in 2 weeks, right? I couldn't make an exercise because I was too tired. But then tomorrow, for sure, I'm gonna be working out. We're not giving up, right? For the first time in my life, I'm being put in front of something that I'm not willing to give up. You know. And then there's also the relationship. And the relationship, we're in this very odd position of, well, I want a relationship, but am I willing to put in the effort? Am I willing to put in the time? And if yes, what does that imply? Because it's easy to go into a relationship. It's easy to go like, hey, I kind of like you. Oh, I like you too. But then figure things out, right? Figure out how should a person work. Figure out how they think. Figure out what is their opinion about a certain thing. Figure out if they're a nice person, right? And I dated this girl, and she was nice to me, but she was a bitch to everybody else. And it bugged me. She wasn't mean with me, but it bugged me because I'm like, dude, this is the way you treat somebody. And we ended up not working out because I was constantly telling her to treat people better. So I like the way she treated other people coming to the relationship. You know? It's kind of weird, isn't it? The fuck do I know? Give me a second. Sorry about this, guys. Sorry about this, guys. Commitment is just people think is committed is just, oh, you're not willing to put yourself in a situation, you're not willing to do this for a while, you're not willing to say, hey, I'm in. But that's not it. Commitment is also, in what situation am I putting myself in? I can have this fear of commitment with a person, but no fear of commitment with every single project, right? And I think it's actually a good thing because if you're not sure about a person, right, then you shouldn't force yourself to be with her, right? I was thinking about, there's this person asked me, are you single last week, right? And I wasn't interested in her. There's a couple of girls I'm interested in. And again, it's a situation where I got a couple of girls that are interested in me, and I don't know which one I prefer. There's 3 girls right now that I'm really into. 4 girls I'm really into, right? Now there's three things that's coming with that. Am I perceiving interest or they're not interested? Right? There's a difference between, oh, I think they're interested and they're really interested. That's one. 2, is the right person. I don't want to ask myself, what if I was with her instead of her? Because that's a shitty thing to do. That's a really shitty thing to do. That is incredibly shitty to do. And then people do that, right? And the third one, if I get the right girl and we get along together, right? Am I willing to make the effort to stay with that person? If it's long distance, am I willing to do long distance? I don't know. I do not know. I'm afraid of doing a streak with someone because I have to talk to you every single day. And I have this friend, Lucio, and I fucking love Lucio. You guys hear me talk about him a lot. And Lucio wanted to keep the streak going, and we were having a streak for 13 days. But he was saying, hey. And I was like, how are you? He wouldn't answer. But the next day he would say, hey again. Without answering the how are you, just hey. At first, I was like, are you doing good? Are you really okay? I was worried about it. I didn't think you guys wanted to keep this chick on. Right? And then at the very end, he was like, dude, I'm so sorry I let the shit down. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, you had a streak of 13 days, and I destroyed it because I didn't text you. So I'm like, dude, you texted me because you wanted to keep the streak going, not because you wanted to talk to me. It's kind of fucked up. It's kind of fucked up, you know. But then again, this is the mentality of people, and you cannot wrong them for that, right? You're gonna have this person, and it's kind of crazy because those experience, right? So you're gonna have this person versus this person, right? And it's gonna be it's gonna be a case of, well, my ex had a commitment issue, so now I'm worried about people having commitment issues. What your ex did doesn't have anything to do with me, right? But I understand that because you don't want to play. Or there's this girl that one of them that I'm interested in. She has a kid, right? So I have to be worried of the kid. Do I mind her having a kid? No. Do I mind hurting the kid's feeling? Yeah, absolutely. She'll tough it up. She's a woman, right? Strong, independent woman, right? Can I get a hell yeah? Even if I hurt her feeling, big deal. Toughen up, Cookie. Toughen the fuck up, right? But she's a kid. Can I do that to a kid, right? So, and also, what if I don't even know what I want? Do I want a fuck friend? Do I want a relationship, right? Because a fuck friend is fun. And a fuck friend would be perfect, right? It would be perfect because I'm working a lot, and like for example, right? I had this girl, and I think one of the, so again, this is possibly my own thought. This is possibly not true, but I think one of the attraction is there's a lot of ladies that come to my stream, right? A lot of them, and there's this kind of flirtatious, right? I'm being flirtatious with most of them, which makes me a slut. But hey, I'm a fun slut. But then they feel desired, right? So then I work, and I know other people that come to feel desired. If I had a girlfriend, I wouldn't do it. So if I had a girlfriend, would it hinder my career in a fucked up sense of way, or would it be better? And then is she okay with me working or not, right? And I don't know. Would a fuck friend would be better? But then, do you really want to get into a fuck friend because you want something serious? You want something that leads somewhere? Then you ask you a question, and that's the most important question. Do I want to run around in a circle, or do I want to go head down and run till I hit a wall? And the answer is I don't know. Now, you can hit a wall in 25 years. You can get married along the way. But when you hit the wall, you hit the wall. Am I willing to do that? Am I willing to do that? Because that's a big sacrifice. And the answer is, and always has been, I don't fucking know. That's the scary part. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.
It's my body, I'll die when I want to, die when I want to, die when I want to. Lost and remained, it's gone in the crowd. I'll play the fill and you kill the crowd. Paraded around, but I won't die for you. It's my body.
Paraded around. Don't blink, it's your brain, cool control controversial. Everything wants to have a wonderful day. I know it's super late, but we're actually working So you're gonna see this where we're filming the moon and we're filming the tower. We're filming the tower. We're filming this. We are also, you know what? It'd be better if I did it. That's not better. It's a bit better. It is a bit better. I'll close the camera. Filming the tower here, and we're uploading clips to both TikTok and YouTube. That's what we're working on. So I was like, you know what? Let's film some videos. Let's film some freaking video, bro. Yes, I'm using a pot of mayonnaise as a stand. I don't call myself clever, but who else does this in the biz? So today we're talking about falling in love with working out. And this is a video that I'm so happy that we're making. On it's 13 April 2025. I keep on saying the dates because I'm tired of I'm lazy. I feel lazy. I feel like I don't care about putting the date on. So I'm trying to say the date so that way I don't have to do it after. And they're talking about falling back in love with working out. So again, there's this whole history and this whole meaningful, possibly back lore, if you will. What inspired this video? So why are we making this video? Because, well, we've been working out for 2 weeks, and I've been really getting down with it. I've been really excited about it. Of course, it's tougher because I'm 32 years old. I'm getting older. I'm an old man. I'm a fucking boomer. Most of you guys watching, I could be your father or your mom. I don't know how it works. I don't know how this works. I'm gonna go back with how much we love working out and why we stopped. And as a kid, my father had a couple of weights laying around, and those weights were very small. My father, if you see my father, you saw my father in videos, right? So the toughest guy, doesn't have the most musculature or the biggest build, right? As the gaming term. But he had some weights, and the fun thing about those weights was he was letting them in the basement. Now the basement is actually a really special place in my heart. In my father's place, we had a basement. Now the sad thing is the basement doesn't use it anymore, and it's become such a mess because they're not using it. Him and my stepmom. But it used to be my sanctuary. My sanctuary now, where fears in my eyes melts away. Music will die. A little bit of a Kingdom Hearts, because why not? So the basement was my sanctuary for a couple of reasons. The first reason why it was my sanctuary was because it was cold. So the coolest thing about the basement was, back in the days, which was the 90s, you could have a fireplace working, and it didn't matter how much space you had. You can have a fireplace working. So the winter, it was super warm, and the summer, it was super cold because it was a basement. Fun fact: when it's the winter, when it's really cold, basement is possibly the best way to go because the dirt around you will protect you from the change in temperature. That's why it's cooler in the summer, and it's hotter in the winter. Right? Makes sense? I hope so. So good. Perfect. So then, what ended up happening? I'm sorry I'm working here, but it doesn't take a lot of time and it doesn't take a lot of effort. So let's fucking do it, right? Oops, what happened here? Did I fuck up? So the basement was the place, and the basement had a TV, and that TV, I am sorry to say, was garbage. And now I know what you're saying, dude. Is the 90s still? But there was this channel called YTV. I don't know if it's still called YTV, but it was Dragon Ball Z, and I was watching Dragon Ball Z. And Dragon Ball Z, they had this fighter, and these fighters were supposed to save the world, and they all were built. So I would watch Dragon Ball Z and work out, and then it was just a fun thing to do. And then what ended up happening was I kind of fell in love with working out. So it's a bad story. It's a really bad story. So with my father, my stepmom was always doing a diet, right? Was always doing a diet. And then what I would do when I was younger, I could always lose the weight. So I would spend 2 months at my mom's house, or a month at my mom's house for summer break. And then I would gain a lot of weight, right? And I would gain a lot of weight, and the reason why I would gain a lot of weight was because I was able to eat whatever I want. And then because at my father's house, By the way, I was at my father's house 12 days out of 14. So when I say my stepmom had a diet, I was on a diet for the longest fucking time. That sucked. And I was able to always lose the weight until I think I was 17, and I ate a lot, And my father was like, "Hey, this is your last year in high school. You want to have a good memories." So my father got me a membership at the gym, right? And I started going, and the fun thing was there was a couple people going at a gym, and it was possibly the best. This is possibly the biggest accomplishment in my life, for reals. And I know what you're saying, Inch. Your channel is amazing. You did so well, but this is the second biggest achievement. The first one was to lose over 50 pounds, to have almost a really good body, right? And then it was also cool because people from school were going there, so I didn't have really a social life outside of school because I was out of school. People were also going there, and the fun part is I lost so much weight and I got such a good build that people were going there because of me. They were saying, "Hey, this is the gym you go to." They were asking me which gym that you go to. They were asking me to train them. And this was the first time where people asked me for help. I was always the weird kid. I was always the kid that was that you couldn't rely on, right? That was my story. That was me. Um, and then that changed for the better, thank God. But for the better, right? And then so I really fell in love with it. And then I would go to the gym a lot. I would skip classes to go to the gym. I would go every single day. And you know what's weird? You know, life will give you hints about the future, right? I would go every single day of school. The weekend I wouldn't go. I didn't want to go alone, right? Then at 18, my father kicks me out. He's like, "Well, you have to work, or you have to go to school. Otherwise, you're kicked out." My mom takes me in. I lived with my mom for 1 year. I become obese, right? You guys know the story. And then I become obese, and it's bad. So I go back. Then my mom kicked me out because I'm an asshole. Did I deserve it? Absolutely. But then again, so I gained a lot of weight back on, and now I don't have a gym membership. So then the situation at home is kind of messed up because I'm constantly being pushed to find a job. But at this point, I'm morbidly obese. I was still 5'4". No surprises there. I was 240 pounds, which is more than right now. Right now we're 241. We're gonna weigh ourselves tomorrow because again we're doing a weight loss challenge every single week. We weigh ourselves. But I was weighing 271. Right when you saw me, I was really obese. I've never been this fat. So people would see me right now. I don't want to be a dick. Again, people are gonna think I'm fat phobic. I'm not. I'm fat too. Hello. But if I was to look for a job, people would look at me and say, "Dude, it's a really cool job, bro. Are you sure they won't take me?" Right? So I went to my father's house and we lost some weight. And those were possibly the best moments of my life because, again, I was playing emulators. I was eating like a king. I was working out, right? And we really fell in love with working out there. Because when we first worked out at the high school, it wasn't because I wanted to, because it was so important and it was part of my popularity. Most of the friendship that I had back then was because of the gym. Most of the good grades that I had was because of the gym, because the gym made me tired and I was sleeping well. So I used to have ADHD medication, and the ADHD medication doesn't allow you to sleep. Well, it does, but not so much. It leads to insomnia, right? Because basically what's going on is, okay, so I'm not a doctor. This is all alleged. This is my understanding. Please don't like this video. So the medication for ADHD is emotional stabilizer, right? So stabilize your emotions. But you still have this energy. This energy doesn't disappear, right? So instead of constantly being in a position where you're spending energy, in a position where you can control it, right? It's still there, so you don't sleep. Ritalin was horrible. My very first medication was Ritalin. Horrible. I wouldn't eat. I wouldn't sleep. It was horrible. I would have fucking died if I kept it going, you know? Probably not, but still, you know what I mean. So then, what ended up happening is, I go back to my father's house. In the high school, it was because of that. But my father's house, I was like, okay, well, let's lose the weight. My father kind of gave me a ultimatum. Like, hey, I'll give you till this date. And then you really have to go about your life and do this for your good. They gave me a year, and I knew I could have lost the weight in a year because remember what I said? Well, it took us a year to lose the weight. So I would spend day in, day out working out. That the situation at home wasn't good because I wasn't looking for work. But then again, it gave me a date, and that date didn't include me looking for work. So it gave me a date and said, hey, you need to work by then. He never specified, okay, well, you need to apply every single month. I kind of cheated my father, I kind of cheated the system, and we did that, which is not cool. Don't do it, please. But we did. So then, what happened was I was working out, right? And it was fun. It was fun because, again, I had this liberty. This was the best time of my life. And it's crazy to think about that. It is insane to think about that for two reasons. The first reason is I was in my room. My room, you guys saw my room. I filmed it in videos. It was small as shit. But I had everything. I had the radio, I had books, I had my emulators, I had Wi-Fi. So we would spend days working out. And it was really good workouts, right? That's all we could do. It was a jail. It was a jail cell. It's a self-made jail cell, but it's still a jail cell. Most people wouldn't go to jail, they'll pick up the weights. Just because it's boring. I guess. I never went. I've never been. If you've been to prison, let me know in the comments. No judgment, please. Thank you. So we went to this jail, and then I went to the apartment. And in this apartment, it's weird. It's really weird because in this apartment, we were also working out, but the apartment was weird because I had this liberty. Like there's 1,000 things I can do, but I don't have to work out. And then the apartment, it became kind of a chore. So we just didn't finish a video on multitasking, and now it feels like it has to continue. So the workout that I did at my father's house before I came here was a lot. We were working out 4 or 5 hours a day. And when I came here, the first thing I wanted to do was work out. So that's why we had the gym. I came from Carl, fucking love you, Carl. We had all of the training equipment, right? And then I was like, you know what? And I was broke as fuck. I told you how broke I was. And I remember spending, I think it was 120 for 40 pounds. My father telling me, hey, this is a waste of money, right? And my father finding in a dumpster 30 pounds and gave it to me. Like, you see that, I got that for free. So good memories. And so when I came in, it felt forced. It felt like a chore. At my father's house, I was in jail. At my apartment, I wasn't in jail anymore. So it didn't matter how much or how little I worked out. It wasn't in jail, right? So then, what ended up happening was I kind of fell out of love. Then we gained some weight, we picked it up. And then what also happened was, from the point on of having an apartment, we started working. And when it reached an hour,